I'm going to try to remember when I was a little boy. I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, April 29th, 1921. That makes me 65 years old today. I was born to Harold and Lida Dicksson. I have an older brother who is 18 months older than I am. I have a twin sister, Betty. There were 10 children of us in the family, 5 brothers and 5 sisters. Today, there are only 6 of us left. Harlan was the oldest, and then my twin sister, Betty, who was 15 minutes older than I am, and then, of course, me, and then my sister, Ruth, who died in 1946. No, I'm sorry. She was 46 years old, died in 1968. And then Dolores and Dawn. Dawn died October 19th, 1985. And then there was Virginia and Bob and Marilyn and David. Grandpa is 20 years older than David, 15 years older than Bob, 10 years older than Dawn, and then the older brother was 18 months older than Betty and I. As I said, we were born, Betty and I were born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. When we were 6 months old, we moved to Greenville, PA, and then to Grove City, PA, and then to Sharon, Pennsylvania. When probably Betty and I were about 3 years old. I remember at the age of 3, I had awful earaches. And I remember my mother taking me, and I don't know why this sticks in my mind, but it was an awful stormy night, and I had an awful earache, and I screamed and hollered because of the pain. And I remember my mother picking me up and carrying me across the Ohio Street Bridge in Sharon. We lived in a double house on Sterling Avenue. And I remember my mother said, hold on to the umbrella. And the wind was so strong that it blew the umbrella out of my hands as we were going across the bridge, and it went into the river. I remember the doctor's name. His name was Dr. Breen, and oh, how I hated that man, because I thought he was going to hurt me instead of help me, and later in life I found out he helped me. Anyway, at the age of 4, they took me into Buell Hospital in Sharon, which is now Sharon General Hospital. And they performed a mastoid operation on me. That was how they cured the mastoid at that time. Today, they put what do they call it when they put the things in the kids' ears? Tubes in the ears is how they correct the mastoid problem and severe earache. I can still see myself in that crib with the old-fashioned iron crib with the gates up, the sides were up, and it just seemed like I was in a cage. And they showed me in the mirror how my head was all wrapped up with bandages. I had to shave my hair off so that they could operate behind my right ear. I remember I wanted my Aunt Margaret, who lived on the corner of Ohio Street and Sterling Avenue. And when my mother and my aunt and my dad left my room in the hospital, I climbed over that high gate in the bed and started running after them. And the nurses grabbed me, and the doctor shouted, "Get him back in bed, he's going to die." And remember, I was only 4 years old, but that's so vivid in my mind. Well, the next thing that I remember, we moved to Sharpsville, PA. And that's where your Aunt Betty and I started school in the first grade. It was the M. Dieter School. Emma Dieter was her name, and she had taught there for 45 years, and that's why they named the school after her. And I remember Mom and Dad had pictures taken of us, of your Aunt Betty and I, with a pony. I don't know today where that picture is. But I have a picture that was taken of your Aunt Betty and I. And we were playing in the sandbox, and they made us get out of the sandbox and come in and get washed and get a bath and get all dressed up. And we looked silly in the picture. Someday I'll have to show that to you, Matt, because you're going to laugh. That's when you wore knickers and a shirt and a bow tie, and they parted your hair in the middle. Yes, I had hair then. And Aunt Betty had the dress with the pantaloons showing. Oh, you'll have to see that to really enjoy it. But anyway, from Sharpsville, we moved to Sharon on Thornton Avenue. And we went to Thornton Avenue School. And we had a lot of fun in that school. We went there till we were in the 4th grade. Then the Depression hit. That's when everyone lost their job and lost their money. They closed the banks, and what little bit you had in the bank, you lost it. And we moved out in the country to Clarksville, PA. There we went to a one-room schoolhouse. And do you know what my first job was? Building the fire in that pot-bellied stove in that one-room schoolhouse. And most any place that you saw daylight, you could almost throw a cat out. It was so, the wind just blew through there, and it was rather hard to heat. But that was my first job, was building that fire in the pot-bellied stove and try to keep it warm for the kids. And when it really got cold, we all had to huddle around the pot-bellied stove. And I really made a lot of money then. I made $1 a month. And Aunt Betty swept the school every night, and she got $1 a month. Well, we had good times there. Our dad planted a big garden, and of course we had to help keep the weeds out. And we had a large blackberry patch, and it was cultivated. That means they weren't wild. They were planted there And we used to have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go out and pick the blackberries, and then it was up to your Aunt Betty and I to go with your great-grandfather into town to sell the blackberries. And then we had chickens, and every Saturday, Grandpa, your great-grandpa, would kill the chickens, and then it was up to us to help pluck the feathers off the chickens, and then Grandma would clean them and cut them up, and we would take them into town and sell them. That's how we made our living during the Depression. Then things got a little bit better, and in 1936 we moved to Hartford, Ohio. That's when your Aunt Betty and I was in the freshman year or the 9th grade in high school. And we really had a good time there, met a lot of friends. We lived in a big old farmhouse, and we didn't have hot and cold running water. We didn't have the bathroom inside. We had what they called the two-holer, and in the middle of the night you had to get up and walk out in the snow to go to the bathroom. That was always a lot of fun. I remember one day I made your grandma cry bad, and I have lived with that for all these years until I told the minister one day that I have been carrying this burden and I wanted to get released. And something happened in the kitchen. Of course, there were 6 of us children then. And something happened in the kitchen that was, I can't remember what it was, I think, if my memory serves me correctly, Grandma always made a big batch of pancake batter. And I think somebody tipped it over, it went on the floor. And of course, in those days, your grandpa was a perfect angel, ha ha ha. So anything that happened, it was Barney that did it. And my mother wasn't feeling good, and she called me a little brat. And I looked at my mother, and I was crying, and I said to her, Mom, I thought there was one person in this world that loved me. But now I guess I don't have anyone. And my mother cried. Dad, I hurt my mother. But I had a bad day at school all day. I couldn't do anything but sit there and cry, thinking that I hurt my mother. But I know she has forgiven me, and I have forgiven her, and I guess that's what you have to do, is forgive one another when you hurt one another like that. Anyway, from Hartford, we moved to a farm on Warner Road, and there we lived for about 2 years. And then Grandma and Grandpa Dickson moved to another place that was called Warner Road. Now, this is in Ohio, but it was in Bisfield Township. And there we graduated from high school living in that farm. And it's on the corner of Warner Road and the freeway right now, or 82 freeway in Brookfield, Ohio. We had good times. Even though we didn't have anything, we made our own entertainment. There were quite a number of children around so that we could do this kind of thing. So, My grandmother, Kremet, lived with us most of the time. And she had cancer of the brain and hardening of the arteries. And she was, later in life, she became very hard to manage. So when I went into the service, and that was in 1943. Before that, I got a job in, I forgot the second job I had. That's the most important one. I was the sexton at the funeral, oh boy, I'm all right, at the cemetery. And my second job was digging graves. And then, at that time, you had to dig them with pick and shovel. And let me tell you, when you hit stone, it was kind of hard because you had to go 6 feet deep, 6 feet wide, and 6 feet long. And let me tell you, that was a hard job. And I made a lot of money on that job, too. I made $5 for each grave. When I was drafted, before I was drafted, I got a job right out of high school working for J.C. Penney Company. And I worked for them for 10 years. When the manager was, of course, the boss, the last word at Penny's. And when he ordered me to place an order for a gross, which is 144 pair of cowboy boots. Now, what would I do with 144 pair of cowboy boots in an iron and steel town? Well, he came from out west, where that's what they did. That's what they all wore, was cowboy boots. And he thought that there was absolutely no excuse for not having boots, cowboy boots in Sharon. So I said, well, no, I wouldn't order them. Because I said we'd never sell them. We might sell one pair in a year, and that would be lucky if we could sell those. So he decided that I should no longer work there. So that's where I met your grandma, was at Penny. Now, in 1943, I went into the service, into the Navy. And after boot camp, we were sent to a place called Indian Head, Maryland. We called ourselves the Blind Battalion. There wasn't any one of us could see a foot in front of us without our glasses. That's why we called ourselves the Blind Battalion. And it was a naval powder factory. And when I came back from the service, or came home on leave, I went back into Penny's, and that's where I met your mother. And they said, this is... Pardon me? Oh, your grandmother, I'm sorry. Your grandma. And they introduced me to her as Gertie Means. And I said, oh, Gertie from Baverde. And your grandmother hated me. She could not stand your grandma. But that changed with my personality. Ha, 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 ha. Anyway, that's why you're here today, because we finally got married, and your mother was born, and then you were born. And that's why you're here today, because your grandma and I got married February 14th, 1949. That's a long time ago, isn't it, Matt? I have a lot of other things to tell you, but I'm going to have to gather my thoughts together. Okay? We'll do it later, okay? I'll give you some more.
Analysis that's more timely than any newsletter? Tune in to John Bollinger.
And I met Mount, and you guys dug your way earlier than what I did. And I never got them. Well, it didn't, when I was around coffee and stuff, I didn't think to get them out of them either. And after you left, Jim, just me, you know, your dad asked about this Muslim lifestyle, or he asked about coasters. Where's your coasters? He says, and I said, oh, we don't ever use them, don't worry about it. I said, yeah.
Well, I asked for a poster, I didn't want to put it on.
Everybody,
Well,
you go
he
walking
does.
up the park, everybody's got these walking shoes on, you know, some loafers, some high tops like this, and I want a pair of loafers. And I've been looking, you know, because, well, the best shoes I found is my work shoes. Of course, I buy good work shoes down to work because I'm on my feet. And then I wear them oranges in my shoes.
Well,
And that's the best pair of shoes for walking. I've been wearing them brown suede that I got. And they're good shoes, but my feet hurt me and my legs cramped the shin. And I said to her, I said, these damn shoes, I gotta go get, we're gonna keep walking, I gotta go get a good pair of shoes. So the last couple of days I put my work shoes on. Now they're not even steel toed, but I haven't worn them since I quit working. And I put them on and my feet feel fine.
I get that problem too. But
My legs cramp up right along my shin bone, right in here.
that's where I get it.
And then after that, the next morning my knees put them other shoes on.
That's poor circulation.
Why? That's what's the poor circulation. Hey Sherry, you put them shoes away, here's one.
I
You gotta
just,
have two of them.
I just put it in the bag, but I'll get it.
They're in the post.
Oh,
Wrong bag, Jim, wrong bag.
Yeah, but I come close to getting it anyway.
Well, I asked him if he had to have low shoes or high shoes, and he said, well, for Jim, they mostly wear high.
Yeah, he likes the high shoes.
We have to apologize for the light. It makes
I
it
like
a little warm, but in order to film, we need the light. So,
Well,
what happened to the sunlight?
We're filming. We're filming right now.
Oh,
great.
You're on camera, Dad.
Oh, my
Cam it
God.
up. Camera.
I haven't. Well, my hair
right.
We can't afford these real fast.
Got his hairstyle.
Yeah, I haven't got my hairstyle.
Well, fluff it up.
Well,
I'll fluff it up.
my mother washed me too much, and I
Hey, turn this,
made
Jim.
me soft.
Sure, I thought you was gonna say 99 and 44, 100%.
Bucks. And the arm got broke last night about 6:30.
How did he break his arm?
Very careful.
Very carefully. Did Matthew
Well,
have
Matt
anything to do with it?
did it.
No, he didn't.
No, but I'm gonna tell you what I said.
What'd you
He just
say?
broke his arm last night, and when Barney called and told me, was there room for Boomer to go along? And I said, yeah, and he said, well, he just broke his arm, they were playing basketball. I said it was a good thing it was Randy instead of Matt, because I wouldn't come down with him. I'm a He said
Matthew,
we're
get
gonna
out
send him
of my
back
hand.
on the plane if he broke his arm.
Send him back on the plane.
Might as well say it, and just think about it. I guess they got along good.
Yeah, they did.
They're wrong boys, huh?
900.
I called Uncle Barney and I said, we'd like to take Matt out to the Dairy Queen. Well, I forgot you went on Tuesday night to...
You playing football while you're
Randy and Matt. Down. Please, down. You know, you don't have to go in the other room.
Look at her, Grandma, you're on...
Well, how come you doing
Smile, you're on candid camera.
Well, how come you're doing this?
That air conditioner needs to get turned on here pretty quick while they come.
What's this for?
That,
No, but what's this for?
this is just something for
That's
you
just
guys,
to
and
down
that,
here to Newark.
that is the rest of your birthday gift.
Oh, the rest?
Yes.
Matt, you wanna see, come and sit on
That's
the
the
old daddy
welcome
chair.
list down here next time.
That's Sherry
I'll-
Friday.
Happy,
Randy, I mean.
Next time we're back and we can.
Happy
go-
coming what?
happy coming down
That's right.
day.
There you go.
Look, happy coming down day.
Go sit, Randy.
Happy coming.
Either on the chair or on the stool.
That's okay, Randy. Look.
Yes.
Well, I don't know, somebody didn't.
Somebody gave it to me, so I'm gonna open it.
No?
Somebody didn't
Was you
get
going
the
to play it
check.
before that?
There has to be something wrong with it.
He called last night, wanted to know if there was room to sit down. I said, as long as you don't wear no fire hat or steel hat, you go with us. He was brown hat.
Thank you.
Well,
You're
you
welcome.
seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, look at you, we got a little coconut.
There you go. All right.
You'll have, we put some of that stuff that you liked in there. Now, if you'll have to find your own after that.
Okay.
I imagine, Green Hats will have that stuff.
I'd go to
Oh,
a
they all-
discount. I buy it at Kroger's, but, you can buy it anywhere. I buy it at discount stores whenever.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Last week was the first that I seen it.
Yeah, they're
Very much.
Is it the right size?
What size?
Large?
Yeah.
Hey, Grandpa, hey, that'll go with your boots.
Very nice. Ours got a hard one. This just has a round hole. See it?
Well, that's when we get a heart.
Let's change spots. You didn't notice that.
Got 3 hearts on it.
Thank you.
Oh.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's just to wear outside your pants and feel relaxed in.
Well, hell, I can wear it for a night shirt. I'm short.
Doesn't get broken. Ah, dear.
But your
I
mother.
don't think they want a little girl out there now. There's 3 boys
3
out
boys, and you're gonna expect her to sit here?
She looks similar to Billy.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
Well,
she looks
if you just-
Huh?
She looks like Bill.
Yeah.
You were off.
Well,
You
that's
could
the
say
way
something.
to do it.
You could say
My
something.
grand entrance. That's enough. Turn the damn thing off.
Turn that light off.
there. Right. I had to wait to turn the light on.
Think so?
I would think so.
Turn it off.
You what? We can get you on it.
We'll fix this up in a hurry.
Willie Blue.
There's a burger there. There's another one out there.
You know what? We're gonna. Yeah, honey. Move this down here.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Dolly.
Yeah, 'cause there isn't enough light.
Huh?
The little light for not enough light is on.
Each one represents every year.
Okay, I think we need to sing happy birthday. Matt,
63,
we're
right?
gonna sing happy birthday, Grandma. Come on. Happy birthday to you.
This way.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Emma. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, you gotta blow these suckers up. More.
Many more.
Happy birthday to you. You belong in the zoo. You look like a monkey. And you smell like what you do.
I'm glad they're singing your grandma. Yeah, I'm a
You ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna make it.
I don't think I am either.
You can burn your fingers.
Whoa!
One more. Oh, there, you did it. Sound like Gertie make a wish.
There we go.
Wait a minute, you got no camera
Make
on.
your wish, Grandma.
Good wish.
Whoa! Everybody's gonna sign that.
That doesn't go with, just don't lean on it.
Why?
Well, I don't know, they fell last week, don't lean on it either.
Huh? You drank it already?
No, is there some in there?
I
Here,
poured some
Dad.
stuff. Here.
Dad,
Oh, you
there's
did?
your cup up here.
Oh,
Well, I didn't know you.
yes, what's in there?
We'll make another batch of it. He said, wants to rip, Mom. Just hold.
I went to a birthday party one time and the girl tore every little
Yeah.
birthday possible. Boy, that's
Showers,
irritating.
I don't think this is fair.
Well,
You
take a
got
vote.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh,
5,
full
6,
bag.
7 packages, 8 packages.
Oh, we do have ice cream and cake now. great.
I can pick up some batch for yourself or
We know where we're going
grandpa,
tomorrow,
whatever you want.
Gertie's house.
Yeah.
What do you do with that?
The directions are on there. You put
Yeah, the
your,
directions
you
are on
mix
there.
it up and you put it in there and you turn that. I think you have to turn it like every 2 minutes for half an hour. And then you just put it up in the freezer and let it freeze.
Tire me out before I
Something for your
get
dad
it.
to do, right?
Yeah, something for Dad to do.
Something for your dad to do.
I never did either. We'll have to get that out of her eye.
Them glitter she poured on herself?
No,
Them
she
come
wrote
out.
that.
She squeezed out of a tube?
The cake decorator, yes.
I would've went to that.
Looked like it, I thought Jimmy was better.
I think the flowers are probably the prettiest thing on top of that.
Jim made the flowers.
How many years does each one of them candles represent? Hurry up.
Well, there's 6 and 3.
9.
No, she's 63, right?
Each one of them represents 7 years. Two.
Actually, we were only going to put
Well, that's
35 on.
right.
That's all
That's right. I didn't think about that.
I thought it represented 8.
Oh, pretty.
Those good, Mom?
I don't know what size it was.
What size are they supposed to be?
Probably 16.
Oh, we got it right. Actually, Dad got it right. I called him.
And they have pockets. Very nice.
You had a pair similar to that, so you thought that you must have liked this.
Yep.
That's what you got.
Yep. And I'm glad she ties them so I can take them off without breaking.
Yeah, because if you break them, you know what
You're
that
right.
means.
What's
Another
that?
baby. Another baby if you break them both.
She should have told that Jerry 15 years ago. She'd have been ripping them suckers off there on every occasion.
So my statement is be the lucky guy.
Oh, that's in my size. I'm coming back on my birthday.
You're too short. This is long enough for me, not for you.
I could wear that for a dress.
Oh, very pretty.
I think
That'd be good for a night
that'll
shirt.
fit one,
Yeah.
Mom.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Wow. You could wear that, could ya?
No, for a dress. Now, let me see. I don't know what I do with the list of that.
You don't need them.
You don't need it. No, Paul, keep going.
Put
Yeah,
it
let's
right out
go.
there in the front where they can see.
Yeah.
There you go. Put this back here. This back here.
Grady's getting in a
That-
bunch
that's
of
it.
trouble, ain't she?
Oh, she's gonna have to clean the kitchen when she's done.
Gonna get all the flushes she'll be.
Hey, just look, lots of ribbons for your hair. Sick. She's sick with the diet.
Get Randy on there. You don't have Randy yet, right? What, that?
Randy, get in front of the camera now, don't be bashful.
I got Randy on there.
Show 'em your dimples.
Step out there, Randy. Step out this way.
Those three boys together, the high
The little girl lives across the street.
There, Will.
Hear that, Jim? The little girl lives across the street from us is in Randy's class. Whoa. We say, look how, isn't he handsome? She says, no.
Grandpa, look at that.
I want you to
Notice the bottom.
notice the bottom. It's made
Notice
a
the
little
bottom.
differently.
That's different. There you go. Now you're.
Oh, with a rope, what be?
That's for Dad too.
That's right.
My had done something to me 20 years ago.
That's to do the candy.
Heather, you're saying you'd rather it be a little briefer. Is that it, Dad?
Hell no.
A little shorter. Another old question. Ask her if she's sure that was all hers.
No, it says happy birthday, Mom.
I ain't
It
seen
says
her
happy
check,
birthday.
I haven't seen her check any name on it.
No, I haven't.
Is Mom there? Mom there?
The basket is yours too.
Oh, good.
That's to put plants in. Yeah. Your planner.
Wow, this is wonderful.
I don't know whether it is.
Actually, I think it's more fun to get gifts than to give them.
You're right.
Read it out loud.
Yeah, but they say it's better to give than to receive.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of bullshit. I really do.
Special part is that you're from Keith, Ohio. It's more Keith, Ohio. It's more than just a word, Mom. Yeah, her. It's your
Oh, her.
souvenir. Hope you treasure your souvenir. It's extremely hard to come, but seriously, we hope this is one of your nicest birthdays. It is for us because we got to share it with you. Happy birthday. I've always been sharing it.
Matt the other day what's round at each end and high in the middle, and he didn't know.
What's
Do you
what?
know?
Round at each end and high in the middle.
What's round at each
I
end?
used to know, that's an old one. I don't.
Round at each end and high in the middle.
What is it?
Ohio.
What his answer was? It's not Ohio, it's
It's Ohio. Did you see his shirt?
We're all, we're all a little thick down here.
Oh, I know, I'm coming here. Oh, sorry.
Gary and Jim.
Dad?
You know that Aunt Gertie's the only one that got the upright organ for Quebec.
Is that right?
And she did. Got an upright organ.
Is that right?
Yes, that's Marcus. Yeah, very nice.
Sure, you don't want to, it's on
Dan?
a double keyboard. It's one of the keyboards.
You didn't catch what he said, did you?
Got an upright organ. Oh.
Jim's a little dense these days.
She'll come to our place for.
I got it for New Year's.
She'll come to our place for lunch.
Sardine.
Huh?
How will she carry everything? In the basket?
In the basket. The basket goes with the basket. Right?
Come on here.
Grandma let her nails grow and now
Now
she's
she
gonna
can't-
bite
I can't
them off
open
because she
anything.
can't open anything.
I can't open the little jelly things at McDonald's or the ketchup, nothing with a tablet. We're trying to read and she's just chatting away. Right.
Don't always go by what's in the box.
That's
Well,
right.
that one you
Don't buy
can't.
what's in the box.
Go by that, yeah, go by the box on that one. That's just different kind of coffees.
I never saw a variety pack. They're all pretty.
Well, I know you like those little coffees, so.
Well, that's that new,
That's chocolate mint with roses.
I don't like that. You.
It's my birthday.
I'm glad I don't like that either. That's exactly what I did when she picked my mother will love these.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't like that either, and I don't like macaroni and cheese, but she likes all this.
Well, I love macaroni and cheese too.
Macaroni and
Most of the
cheese is
stuff that you
exotic.
love, but that's